The last couple of years have been hard. I think there have been opportunities to try to do things differently, to try to do things in creative ways. But our work that we do is relational, and relationships happen best when people are allowed to be together. And the last couple of years, we've been working hard from a safety angle to try to keep people apart. And that's been hard. It's made it hard for kids, it's made it hard for staff. I think we have so many kids that over the last 2 years have really struggled, particularly our kids on the margin, particularly our kids who have not historically thrived in our schools. Those discrepancies have really been exacerbated. I think right now we have an opportunity where our society, our community, our world is saying, we need to look at what we've done always and know that it hasn't always worked.
Being innovative right now is, it's a necessity. It's, the paradigm has shifted so much. Things are so different from what they were before that we need to engage those kids. And we have to find different avenues and different ways to do it. Plus the fact that simply education now is different from what it was 2 years ago just because of the pandemic.
Believing that the students are doing the best that they can with what they have, and when it's not meeting their needs, we really need to listen to them and to figure out, what education, revise and re-engineer what education looks like. And if we don't do these things, then what we see is students struggling with anxiety and depression like never before in the history of our country. My class, the Corvallis, the CHS Connect class, is trying to meet the needs of all these different areas: nutrition, physical health, social emotional learning. I'm encouraged from seeing the students, how they started the class to where they are now, and we've been about 10 weeks into school, how you can just tell a student who wants to be there. We're seeing students that struggled with depression and anxiety now not experience nearly as much depression and anxiety.
The Corvallis Public Schools Foundation has funded multiple grants for me. I'd say at least 4 out of the last 5 years that I've applied for a grant, I've gotten funding from. And for me, that shows that they support my program and support my vision on what I want my kids to do. And most importantly, they support my kids, because that's all of my grant, that's what it's for. Having a larger room is a first step in promoting space and growth for this class. But then also with my grant, I'm going to be able to provide furniture so that they can take a step from their traditional table and chair to a workbench and a stool, where they can really crank down on a screwdriver to pull it out of an old VCR. Having the materials and having the physical furniture for them to really engage in all of the different topics that we'll talk about is really huge. And so the foundation grant is very, very crucial to just showing support to students for this program.
The grant it's actually 2. We received 2 of them. One is for sort of large purchases, for example, bandsaw, drill press, and then the other one is for consumables and supplies. And when we thought about the purchases, what are the skills that a completer of the program should have so that when they enter the workforce or when they enter a trade school, they can hit the ground running?
Los libros que recibí y los pedí eran para que los niños supieran de otras culturas, de otras historias, de otras personas, de lo que han pasado, de cómo han llegado aquí o la relación que tienen con otra gente, y mostrar la humanidad de ellos, del color o de la religión, de donde vengan. Ellos todos pienso que somos iguales, y es una forma de entender a otras personas y que desde temprana edad ellos tengan una relación. Entonces, los libros que pedí comprar libros de diversidad cultural, y eso es lo que hice. Es algo bien lindo, porque muchos de los libros a veces nada más hojearlos, ver las ilustraciones o fotos de otros lugares o ver personas diferentes. Para muchos de estos niños que hemos estado casi 2 años, más ya de 2 años, estando encerrados, sin viajar o tener la oportunidad de otros lugares, es como viajar y trasladarse a otros lugares y conocer a nuevas personas. Entonces, para mí es algo que para muchos de estos niños es una experiencia nueva, y es algo que les va a impactar el resto de su vida.
We're getting these roll-out pianos that are going to be, for the whole entire class, I'm going to teach piano 2nd grade through 5th grade so that they can really expand on their skills each year. The pianos that I'm going to be getting have a jack where you can put in headphones. So each student for part of the class can even practice on their own and be able to hear themselves playing and be able to critique themselves and work on the things that they want to work on, which is super, super exciting. It really helps with space, and it helps with getting every single student involved with playing, where we can adjust and be flexible, especially in the spaces that we have. It makes so much more of a difference than I think people realize, just having that extra thing, a whole class set of these pianos. It goes so much farther than just that one thing. It's all of these experiences that are going to be stacked on top of each other from year to year to year, especially in the music room, affecting kids from 2nd grade all the way through 5th grade. All of these different years, kids get to be excited about these things, and I get to expand on the things that we're learning in class. As a teacher, it pushes me and it pushes the students, and it's just so exciting to be able to do something that I might not have been able to do at all before I was granted this opportunity.
The foundation allows us to be creative, to step outside the box, to try new things, to see what works, and then to really absorb and systematize those things that we learn do work.
You are essentially being a parent to these students and allowing them to be a part of those extracurricular activities that they wouldn't have been a part of otherwise. And because of that, it's going to impact them hopefully for the rest of their lives.
It gives us aspirations, it gives us hope that, yeah, I can do this. If I can't do it this way, I can find another way to do it. And with the support of the foundation, we can.
I have been able to do so many more things with the funds that people have donated through foundation grants. And my students have been able to access things that they wouldn't have been able to due to the restrictions within school budgets on certain programs, on all programs, let's be honest. And so I'd say thank you. We really appreciate it. It has been a world of change for a bunch of my stuff throughout the years, but please keep it coming, because the kids are coming, the programs are expanding, and they want to know and do more, and I don't want a financial barrier to hold us back from what we could possibly do.